I've been making visual changes and additions to my game recently, and here I'm going to go over the 4 main ones. The first one I'll mention is the wall terrain. I've had a terrain system for my tile maps for a while now, which gives these transitions between the tiles. I also have pseudo 3D walls being generated, but for a while there was a hard transition between those walls, which looked off next to the terrain. So now, I finally added terrains to the 3D walls as well. Since I had already implemented terrain for the tile map, it was mostly just a matter of repurposing it for the walls. A more subtle improvement I've added are dust particles. There's 2 layers of them, one in the foreground and one in the background. The foreground one is rendered over everything, while the background is only visible outside of the shadows. In a previous devlog, I talked about how I generated a texture for my shadows. Well, I used that shadow texture to mask the background particles. It looks cool when there's beams of light. The particles are just dust right now, but I'll use other textures and particle behaviors for different levels and different environments. This one is more of a design change. I found that I was over-relying on the parallax layers in my tile map. I realized that when the back layers overextend too far from the layers in front, things can end up looking off. And with those layers being scaled down the further back they are, they end up just being too small to work with properly. So instead of always filling the background with tiles, I've started making large sprites to place there. So far, with those sprites and the tiles combined, I think it looks a lot better. The last one that I want to talk about is the water shader. It's really simple, it just makes everything behind it look wavy. But there is a small problem with it. Since it makes the 3D walls wavy, there's a small gap that appears there. It really annoys me, but I'll try to come back and find a fix for this later. Because right now, I'm working on some levels to get ready for the demo, which is on track to be ready soon. That's all I have to talk about for now. See you guys later.